Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video, and today I want to talk about what are the best areas to live in Malta. And this is made, imagine in the situation that you arrive in Malta and you are looking for a long-term accommodation, right? So what are the areas that the best areas for you to move? What are the areas that most expats are living in, and also what are the price of the areas that you are going to live in? So in this video, I want to attempt to answer all those questions. So you want to know the answer, stay tuned here. And also, if you want to know how to find an accommodation in Malta, I recommend you to watch the video that I posted last week. You can watch it right here, okay? Okay, so now without more hesitation, let's go straight into the video. So in Malta, there are mainly four areas that you could be living in, and the areas are the south, central, north, and the island of Gozo. Okay, so those are the main areas, and the cheapest ones are definitely Gozo and the south of the island of Malta. And those are also the areas where more locals are living. However, in the central and in the north are the more expensive areas. The north is a little bit less expensive than the central area, and also those are the areas where more expats are living in the center and in the north. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about the areas, for the sake of this video, I'm going to really be focusing on the central and on the northern area of the island of Malta, because I know that you are going to be probably living in those areas. Let's get into a little bit more deeper into the central area. And the central area is where most of the people are living, and it's a little bit overcrowded as well. While the north area is a little bit calmer, but it still have very good transport connection and it's not dead around. If we get a little bit deeper into the central area, we see that the most popular cities over there to live are Slima, St. Julian's, Zira, San Juan, and Zira. Okay, so Slima and St. Julian's are the more expensive. So, for example, if you want to live in any of those towns, you can expect to pay anywhere from 900 euros to 2200 euros. Okay, this is the price for a two-bedroom apartment. Well, if you want to live, for example, in anywhere in Zira, San Juan, or Zira, you can expect to pay for a two-bedroom apartment from 750 euros all the way to 1400 euros. Now let's move a little bit onto the north, and if we move into the north, we see that the most popular towns are Bujiva and Melilla. Okay, and just to give you an idea, a two-bedroom apartment in Bujiva will cost you from 650 euros to 1000 euros, while in Melilla you can expect to pay from 700 to 1300 euros for a two-bedroom apartment. Okay, so I have also made a guide with all the cost of living from all the areas, so I recommend you and encourage you to download. I'm gonna leave the link right below in the description, so check it out and you can just download that guide for free. Okay, now that you know a little bit what are the most popular areas in Malta, I just wanted to give you an overview of what are the advantages and disadvantages of living in the central area versus living in the north of the island of Malta, so you have a little bit of idea what area is better for you, right? Okay, so let's start with the central area, and let's start with the advantage of living in the central area. So the first advantage that we see is that everything is close, because it is the central area. Every time that you have to go somewhere, you are not going to have to spend many time. You probably have to spend only between 15 to 30 minutes. You take the public transport, and sometimes you can even make it by walking, so everything is closer. Okay, now also you have the best restaurants in the central area as well. Of course, most of the restaurants, most of the good restaurants are gonna be over there, and you are going to be able to go to all of them. Also, it is an area where most of the social events are happening. Okay, so this is organizing social events. Chances are that they are going to happen in the in the center, but also, whenever you are going to meet up with your friends, you are going to find out that most of the time you are going to have they are going to meet in the center, so you are going to be very close to it, and you are going to be able to meet them easily. Another advantage is that the center usually have a very good transport link for around the island. So whether you want to go to another part of the center, or you want to go to the north or to the south of the island, you will find that you have many bus routes that you can use to go to those places. Now, everything that I just said sounds very good, but not everything is that good, and of that's why I'm gonna also mention some disadvantages of living in the central area. And the biggest disadvantage that I see here, and one of the things that made me move out of the central area, is the fact that there are a lot of construction noise. Now, it is true that wherever you go in Malta, you are gonna hear construction everywhere, even in the north, but in the central area is much more intense and it's much more frequent as well. So you are going to have more chances to find to be living next to a place that have constructions, and you are going to find out that they are going to start the construction work at 7 a.m. So that is so annoying because you can barely sleep, and it is not good for health basically. So that is one of the big disadvantages of living in the center. Another disadvantage is that most of the beaches in the center are rocky beaches. Okay, so that is something that you can, it is not 100% a disadvantage, but you are more like, for someone who likes sandy beaches, then probably the north area is the one for you instead of the center. Another disadvantage is that exactly, talking about the beaches, the central area are far away from the sandy beaches, and because most of the sandy beaches are in north. And finally, this final disadvantage is that it's quite overcrowded. Okay, the central area is quite overcrowded, and I don't know if you know this area, but Malta is one of the most densely populated countries in the world, and you are in the central location, you are going to see that even much more intense. So that is something that is going to definitely affect your daily life if you are not feel comfortable being around that. Okay, so now that we have gone into the central location, let's now move on into the north location, and let's analyze the advantages and disadvantages of living in here. So one of the advantages of living in the north location is that there are more aquatic activities to do. Okay, so it is not that there are no any aquatic activities happening in the center, but you are really into snorkeling or scuba diving, probably you wanna living in the north, because you're gonna find that most of the places where you can learn to do this are in the north. Another advantage is that the north is calmer and also more relaxed, okay? But it's not dead. So it doesn't mean that it's dead. It's calmer, but it's not dead. So it's a good combination of relaxation but still having a good life with a lot of people still around. Another advantage is that there are sandy beaches in the north. So most of the sandy beaches in Malta are in the north, and you will have easy access to it by public transport. And if you own a vehicle, it's even better. Okay, and also probably the biggest advantage of living in the north is that the accommodation cost is lower than in the center. So if you are living here, you can still save a few euros, and that is a big advantage. Another advantage is that you will have more hiking paths here in the north than in the central location, which means that you are into hiking, then the north is for you. Again, the north also have a very good public transport connections to the central location in Malta, so it's very easy to get from here to the north all the way to Valletta or to Slima or to St. Julian's, because there are many buses connection that goes to those places. Okay, but again, not everything is good in the north, and it also has some disadvantages. And the first disadvantage of living in the north has to do with the fact that it's far from the central location. Like it is not like it's super far away, but you can expect to spend between 40 minutes and 1 hour every time you want to go to the center. Now, another disadvantage is that it is far from the airport. So just to give you an idea, whenever I was living in the center, if I wanted to get an e-cabs, which is like kind of an Uber here in Malta, if I wanted to get one of those e-cabs to go to the airport, I have to pay around 10 euros, 12 euros, more or less. But now that I'm living here in North, every time I want to go to the airport and I want to book an e-cabs, I have to pay from 20 to 25 euros. So this is how more far away it is from the airport and also from the center. So that's something that you should keep in mind, because it's an extra cost. You really like to travel a lot. Another disadvantage is that it is a little bit away from social events. So it is not like there are no social events happening here, but definitely most of the social events are going to happen in the center. And also, most of your friends are going to probably be living in the center. So every time you want to be meeting up with your friends, then you are going to have to get that pass to the center. Okay, and this last disadvantage is not necessarily a disadvantage for anybody, but depending on your diet, there are less vegan options available in the north as of general. So if you are vegan, this may be a little bit of disadvantage, but still, just not everything is bad. There are still some places where you can get some vegan options, but most of them are mostly in the center. Oh, okay, so that is a little bit everything of the advantages and disadvantages of living in the center versus living in the north of the island of Malta. And after saying all this, I just wanted to give you a little bit of my recommendation when you just arrive in Malta. And if you just arrive in Malta, what I recommend you to do is to start living in a central location, anywhere between Zira and Dina or San Juan is a very good place to start, and this is because you will probably have to go to many places to get your residency card or your social security number, and you'll probably have to move to places that are in the central location of Malta. So if you are living in the central location, it's gonna be much easier for you to go there. Once you have done all this and you have been living in the center for a while, maybe you are going to want to move into the north, which is a little bit colder, but still there is a lot of action happening here. So that is a little bit my recommendation, and this is basically also based on my personal experience that you can imagine here. Okay, and this is a little bit of this video today. I hope you have received a lot of value and that you have a better idea of what it is like living in Malta and what are the best areas to live here in Malta. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you really enjoy it, and please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. This is gonna help me a lot to keep doing more videos like those, and please let me know in the comments what type of content do you like to see from me in the future. I will be bringing all of them. Thank you again, and see you in the next video.